The United States is often called a melting pot. But what if that pot suddenly broke? What if every American had to pack up and return to where their ancestors originally came from? Would the US even exist as we know it? Before Europeans arrived, Native Americans were the original inhabitants of this land, living here for thousands of years. If every non-Native American left, the entire country would essentially return to them. Tribes like the Cherokee, Navajo, Sioux, and many others would reclaim their ancestral lands. For Native Americans, this scenario might feel like poetic justice. However, they make up only about 2% of current population, which means the US would become a massive, sparsely populated nation. Now let's talk about European Americans, who make up about 60% of the US population. Germany, which accounts for around 15% of Americans' ancestry. Ireland, with over 30 million Americans claiming Irish heritage. Italy, England, Poland, and other European countries. Can you imagine European countries suddenly dealing with an influx of millions of Americans? Germany might have to open a few thousands more beer gardens, and Ireland's pub would probably run out of a Guinness in a week. African Americans whose ancestors were forcibly brought to America through the transatlantic slave trade would return to countries like Ghana, Nigeria, and Senegal. These nations would likely welcome them back warmly. In fact, countries like Ghana already have initiatives like the Year of Return to encourage African Americans to reconnect with their roots. But this wouldn't be a simple reunion. Many African Americans today have mixed ancestries and cultural identities shaped by centuries in the US. Adjusting to life in modern West Africa would likely come with challenges. Hispanic and Latino Americans, who make up nearly 20% of the population, would head back to countries like Mexico, Cuba, Puerto Rico, and beyond. In fact, the US has more Mexicans living outside of Mexico than any other country in the world. This mass migration would likely create economic and cultural booms in these regions, but for the US, it would mean saying goodbye to tacos, salsa, and a huge part of its identity. Imagine America without Mexican food. Unthinkable. Asian Americans, about 6% of the population, will return to countries like China, India, and the Philippines. Tech hubs like Silicon Valley would empty overnight, leaving behind a massive vacuum in innovation and entrepreneurship. But American strength comes from its diversity. It's a country built by immigrants, shaped by countless cultures, and driven by the dreams of people from all over the world. So, what do you think? Would the world be ready for these mass immigrations? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe,